The year was 1936 and the day was bright and sunny. The Queen Mary departed its port in England for its maiden voyage. She was packed with all the amenities: exquisite dining rooms, swimming pools, daily radio broadcasts, a dog kennel for passengers' dogs, a nursery, and even a hospital. With a top speed of 32 knots, she was a fast ship, being able to travel from England to New York in 4 days. The company that had her, the Cunard White Star Line, desperately needed some success. Cunard had gone broke during the Depression, and White Star Line was still reeling from the Titanic and Britannic. All the fates now rested on the Queen Mary, and it appeared that their luck had turned. The RMS Queen Mary was dominant in transatlantic travel, holding the blue ribbon from 1938 to 1952, welcoming celebrities, politicians, and royalty. But the world was in trouble. When World War II broke out, the Queen Mary became a military transport ship, hauling anywhere between 5,000 and 15,000 soldiers across the world, and that's when things turned dark. At least 47 people died aboard the Queen Mary during its time at sea. During an emergency drill, a young crew member named John Petter was crushed by a door. Another died after drinking gin, but was really just cleaning fluid. The rest died of natural causes. At least that's what the official records say. Hundreds of others are believed to have died on or at the hands of the Queen Mary before her retirement. The ship was put into military service in 1939. Britain believed she would be saved from German U-boats due to her size and speed, and they were right. Rumors say that the leader of Germany offered a $250,000 reward for any U-boat captain that could sink her. However, the efficiency came at a cost. She was pushed to the limit, quite often forcing 15,000 soldiers inside when it was designed for 2,200 passengers. In order to make more space, she was stripped of her beautiful decor and all her amenities. Her smokestacks were painted gray, and the portholes were welded shut and painted black. These changes caused the nickname the Gray Ghost. Soldiers slept shoulder to shoulder above deck during the summer and took turns sleeping in bunks below deck. The cabins were suffocatingly hot due to the lack of airflow. Some of the soldiers died from heat exhaustion, while others jumped ship. The Mary was no longer a luxury cruise ship. It had been turned into hell. Supposedly, the staff also went half crazy. One nasty rumor is that the galley crew locked the chef in his own oven and roasted him alive. There is no records of the chef's death, but plenty of evidence exists that the Mary was responsible for the deaths of more than 300 men. October of 1942 saw the ship accidentally collide with the HMS Curacao. It was a much smaller ship that was escorting her around the Irish coast. The Curacao was zigzagging in front of the Queen Mary, trying to throw off any potential missile attacks, when the 82,000-pound ship mistakenly plowed into it, breaking it in half. Some of the crew died instantly, while others drowned or died from hypothermia due to the freezing waters. The ship never stopped to rescue them, as doing so would have compromised the thousands of soldiers on board. As a result, 329 died. The truth of the event was sealed until the end of the war 3 years later. By then, the ship had been renovated over a 10-month period, erasing all remnants of military life. Paintings, fine china, Art Deco furniture were returned to the ship, placed in the cabins and dining rooms. She was once again ready to dazzle the rich, famous, and powerful. However, all this decor couldn't bury what happened during the war. The Queen Mary was a haunted ship. The Queen Mary is supposedly haunted by over 100 spirits, the most infamous one being the spirit of stateroom B340. This is where the paranormal activity is so frequent and intense that some crew members refuse to go inside. Each person has their own story about who or what haunts the room. A third-class passenger named Walter J. Adamson mysteriously died there in 1948. Is this the ghost in there, or did the ghost kill him? Another theory says that the staff locked a man in his third-class room after he killed 2 women in the 1960s. That night, he started beating on the door, screaming that something was in the room with him. They opened the door the next morning, where they found his body ripped apart. In 1967, the ship was retired. 3 third-class rooms were combined for a larger hotel room, B340. Shortly after, guests reported odd things. One woman claimed the bed covers were ripped off her in the middle of the night, waking her up. Then she saw a man looming over the end of the bed. Other people said that they heard phantom voices and had faucets turn on by themselves. So many negative reports came in during the 1970s that they closed B340 to the public for more than 30 years. It was eventually reopened in 2018 as a haunted attraction, but it came with a fierce warning. The captain is even too scared to enter. Other areas that are reported haunted are the former first-class swimming pool, Boiler Room 4, and the doorway where John Petter was tragically killed. Petter's ghost is often seen wearing blue coveralls. Occasionally, he would run behind people, whistling as if to warn them. Other times, he would ask people if they've seen his wrench, but when they turned back, he'd be gone. Because of all the ghostly activity there, it earned the title Most Haunted Ship in the World, attracting many paranormal fanatics as well as history buffs. Even in the light of day, the Mary is creepy. It's a relic of a bygone era. By the 1960s, commercial flights had become the preferred method of travel, and the ocean liner industry had gone dry. The golden years were over. It was spectacular in the 1930s, but unable to compete with modern cruise ships. The Cunard Company eventually sold her to the city of Long Beach, serving as a tourist attraction and hotel. With few modern updates, she still looks like she did during her heyday, grand and glamorous. It is called the Ship of Woods due to the amount of mixed woods used during construction. Walking up its massive black hole, you may get the same feeling of excitement that passengers experienced the day it launched. On that morning in May, the Queen Mary was still innocent and hopeful. This ship now holds just as much evil as it does hope. Marred by war, time and renovation can't bury the dark secrets of the RMS Queen Mary. Thank you for joining me. If you liked this video, please hit that like and subscribe button and comment on the video, and I will see you next time.